up to Georgia, where that man who'd had chickens for decades in the edge of town, they were trying to take his house. And we found out the sheriff's department, the police, none of them were there. My intel is they had Army from Brigade Homeland dressed up to carry out the eviction, and that's what happened. And I've confirmed, Stuart, they have military dressed up all over the country now, helping carry out federal takeovers of property. Have you gotten any info on that?
No, not here in Montana, and there was nobody there. Only the volunteers and us veterans who were there to help him get his stuff out.
Oh, that's why they didn't show up. No, I'm just saying, around the country we've confirmed that they're trying to. I'm sure you saw the head of the Army 2 weeks ago in the CFR called for garrisoning regular troops in every city.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw that. Just
amazing times to be alive. Ren, I'd like to get you on sometime just to talk about that rescue operation, but way back then in 1945, rescuing those thousands of people, could you ever have imagined that they'd be trying to take your homestead?
No way. I was fighting for people to save their lives and for this country and the freedom and the Constitution. And it's been totally reversed on me.
Well, that's why we had laws against taking people's homestead because of these criminal carpetbaggers. I'm sorry, go ahead. But now we're a nation. We are a nation ruled by carpetbagging banksters. I'm sorry, go ahead, Stuart.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, the founders put bankruptcy in place to help people who were in financial trouble, and now it's being turned into a weapon. And these banks are like a bunch of pirates, and these trustees are the same way. They get bailed out, but Ren gets no mercy. And I wanted to ask Ren, if you had been captured by the Japanese, you know what they did to POWs. Let me ask, would you rather be captured by the Japanese and tortured and starved, or would you rather have happened to you what just happened to you just now, being forced to dig your wife's body up? Which one do you think is worse?
I missed part of what you said. I guess we're...
Let me ask you this. Oh, wait. Have you already had to dig your wife up, sir?
No, I have not yet.
He was asking you, would you rather have been captured by the Japanese when you saved those thousands of people, or would you, what's worse, being captured by the Japanese or having to dig your wife up?
Well, I would understand if I'd have been captured by the Japanese because we were in war. I would understood what I was facing. I do not understand what I'm facing here with my home paid for and built by my wife and myself. I was kicked out and had to get everything and lost almost everything I had.
Well, see, here's the big lie. They hound you and push you to pay off medical bills, I was told, is what a lot of it is. Well, you can't, medical bills are not supposed to hound you for those to begin with. And, here you are, people locally make a business all over the country out of taking old folks' homes. I've seen it myself. And then you get manipulated into this. And now because you had some silver coins set aside as your emergency backup, and you live in a modest home, a modest piece of property, they're trying now, threatening you with prison to induce you to waive your rights to get the property. If that isn't racketeering right there from just what I've seen, I don't know what is. Stuart Rhodes.
Well, I think it is. I think it's like I said, it's elder abuse. It's a systematic pressuring. This is not justice. A government lawyer under the ethics rules for lawyers, their first obligation is to do justice. If he did something that he should not have done, if he should have disclosed assets, fine. Then don't give him the bankruptcy. Have him pay his creditors out of that money, out of those coins. That is justice. To go from that and go forward and then take his home, take his land, force him to dig up his wife's body so he can be buried next to her someplace else, that is not justice. That's brutality.
Let me ask you this question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
How many coins did you have, Ren? I don't think you can hear me. Ren, can you hear me? We'll call him back. He's out there in the middle of nowhere in Montana. We'll call him back. Stuart, do you know how many coins there were? Because like you said, they should have just said, use these to pay off creditors.
I think he had a pretty good stack. He had I believe it was like 600 coins, 600 ounces. So he had a pretty good. I'm not sure though. But one thing about it is the person that was helping him store the coins. I believe it turns out that he also went to the court and says, I know where his coins are, and I'm pretty sure it's his girlfriend or fiancée that's winding up buying the property. So basically, they're selling it to the informant. That's what's happening here.
You're kidding.
No, serious.
Oh, my God. Well, what is that? I mean, that is, this country is just...
And Wren asserts that this man also stole, I believe, about 60 ounces of silver from him. So I don't think of the exact figure from Wren, but he thinks the guy, you know, he came back lighter than what he gave him. So,
oh my gosh! So he's a trusting old veteran. And man, who are these people that prey on old people? I just, and I'm sure you've seen all the Time magazine and Newsweek's talking bad about old people and how they're, you know, need to be done away with. I mean, this country's run by a bunch of demonic, snaggletooth, snot-nosed yuppies. I'm telling you right now.
Well, they act like ghouls. That's what really upsets me, is that this shouldn't be done to anybody, first of all, any elderly person. But to do this to a war hero like this, a guy who gave up everything to go fight for his country and saw good friends die, it's disgusting.
Well, the whole system is primed. Is primed for these ghouls to work it. We've got Wren back. His phone cut out. Wren, anything else you'd like to add, sir? Anything we can do for you? I mean, I know the veterans are trying to hang out there and, you know, be with you, but, I mean, I guess they could come at any time. We need to give, the name of the town. I mean, is there anything anybody can do? Any ideas, Wren?
Well, we're totally kicked out of our home, and almost everything, there were a few items we did not get that was outside as of last night. The biggest thing that we all need to stand up for our freedom and for the Constitution of this country. If we don't stand up and start standing up now en masse, we'll all be treated like I have been treated in the last few months.
And the guy that reportedly ratted you out, and obviously you didn't even know what you were doing, you've said that on record to Stewart, didn't understand that, you thought you could keep that. It's his girlfriend getting the house?
No, he's no connection with the people that are getting the house at all. He's my former stepson.
No, Wren, the other guy, Richard, that was helping you with the silver, wasn't it his girlfriend that's buying the house?
Yes, girlfriend or wife, I don't know which it is. He's told me they were married, but he's told that part, I believe, that he was single, that she's a single woman, so I don't know.
Yeah, Alex, what happened was his stepson first sent a letter to the bankruptcy court. That was the first person that ratted him out.
What a nice fellow.
Yeah. And then his other guy that was helping with his silver, he also went to the court and said, I know where the silver is. And it's
let me tell you, wow, as this country unravels, it's going to get bad. Can you imagine all the rats running around out there, Stewart?
Yeah, that's a problem. There's no more honor in this country and no more sense of justice. And people just do, I mean, not everybody, but there's so many like this who just do whatever it takes to get something for themselves. And they act like pirates.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if you ratted somebody out, an old man, because you thought they were supposed to turn in some silver. I wouldn't do that. That's dirty. But to do it for yourself, those folks are buying so much bad luck with what they've done, they might as well be Judas Iscariot.
That's right. And Wren, how many ounces of silver do you believe this man stole from you?
How many ounces of silver?
Did he took?
I've had a total of 1,300 ounces stolen from me. I had a total of 2,600 ounces of silver. And one part of this last party that was supposed to have been a friend and the husband or whatever, the gal that's buying the property, they stole 360 ounces of silver while it was in their hands before it went to the court. And my stepson that was took care of my house when I took my wife to the clinic when she had the cancer. That was the first silver that was missing. It was in his car.
Unbelievable. I wonder where they got the money to buy the house. I tell you what, 1 minute break. We're going to come right back and finish up with both these gentlemen back in 60 seconds. This needs to be investigated right now. The stories at Infowars.com. All right, coming up, we're going to be breaking down Obama saying he is a dictator, basically. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Wars, legalizing illegals. Warren C. Bodeker goes by Wren. World War II war hero, rescued more than 2,000 people in the Los Banos raid. He's out in Montana, and this stuff's going on everywhere. And they're claiming because he kept some silver in a bankruptcy that they're taking his property, everything, because they got him to waive it with threats of jail time. Ren, just to be clear, you didn't understand that you couldn't keep that silver?
No, I didn't. In that silver and gold that we've collected over all those years, we never spent one dime for buying anything. When we needed a car, I let my teeth go, everything, because that was for our future when we got old age. The home was built for that, with no steps or anything. It was built strictly for our retirement and old age.
Yeah, I know there's been some federal rulings. You could calculate the value of that, of what you bought it in at the time, too, so it's probably a lot reduced. But point is, you didn't know. Stuart, where do we go from here? I would think that we need the local police, if they've got any honor. This is the feds doing this. They should dig into these other people, get warrants, look at deposits, silver sold. I would go around the local places, even in towns 100 miles away, and get records of the silver sold with warrants to see if they were indeed selling his silver. And then you could build a case backing up what he's saying. This was an organized deception the whole time, planning to get him into bankruptcy to do this. Again, I don't know all this, but that's what my gut hound dog tells me to look into. What do you say to that right there?
Well, there's two different strategies of attack on this. On the one hand, he needs a really good bankruptcy lawyer. We've got an appointment set with him to go see a psychologist who's going to do an assessment of his capacity to see whether he could understand what he was agreeing to. So we'll attack the stipulation and try to wipe that out, and then put him back where he was, back with his homestead, and then they can then try to go ahead and do an adversarial proceeding. We'll fight him all the way. But the other strategy, I mean, it'd be nice to have somebody look into the theft of his silver, but I think that's a second issue. So we need a two-pronged strategy there. And we also have had folks contact us, friends of mine through Oath Keepers, who were trying to raise the money to buy his house back. And so I really hope they're successful to reach people that have money and can do that. But I encourage folks to go. There's on our website is a link they can donate directly to his legal defense fund.
Yeah, that's all great. But I mean, if we try to always buy people out of their trouble, it's a losing battle. It's important in this case to help him. I think bringing the people involved in this to justice if they've done something wrong, I think that's what's important.
Well, sure, if you can, but this is why I don't mess with the law much. It's such a corrupt system, and it's already so far gone. I mean, the court let this trustee hire herself as the lawyer for the trustee and for the estate, and said in its order allowing this that she's not biased, that she has no conflict of interest. It's just ridiculous. And so the law in this country has deteriorated into being a weapon. And so I don't think there's, in the big picture, I don't think anybody involved in this is going to be, prosecuted for anything. But we can restore his homestead. I think that's possible.
It was Montana with that weird Hardin stuff. A lot of weirdness going on up there. I know it's a lot of good people, but also has that weird old mining thing going on. In closing, Ren, anything else you'd like to add, sir?
Well, I was just thinking as you was talking there, you and Stuart Rhodes and the Oath Keepers, all of you that's taking a hand and helping me here, whether you realize it or not, you're making a combat jump into enemy territory just like I did. No, we're not. Listen, we just know that if people are feeding on old folks, none of us are safe. So it's real simple. Okay. I thank you for the time that you've spent with me, and look forward to hearing more from you.
All right, thank you so much. God bless you. All right, there he goes. Stuart, we'll continue to watch this situation. Again, I don't know all the particulars of the case like you do. I've just seen this done so many other times with other people. So thank you for investigating. Oathkeepers.org is where people can find out more.
Yes, they can. They can go there to donate. And it's directly to Ren's legal defense fund.
No. He needs legal defense right now. Great job, Stuart. And I'll get a hold of my lawyer, too, and maybe get you guys on